There's just no depth to Drake.
None.
And you know what? If there's no depth in him, then don't ask him any questions.
Don't ask him no questions.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't really mind that because I don't see Drake having the answers.
No, and
he's
Drake,
not Sway.
He doesn't have the answers.
I'm not coming to him for those. For those answers.
Same way as Kanye also did not have the answers, and we did not need to go to him for those. For that stuff
so
either.
Khaled, it might come off as tacky to some other Palestinians for him to just be out here promoting his records when all this is going on, but. What else do you expect from him?
So there's a Vlad. Vlad is a hypocrite. Are we really gonna talk about Israel and Palestine on the show?
No,
I
think I'm gonna pass on that.
I'll do it. But
my thing was, and listen, we don't have to go down that road.
I'm gonna pass on it.
My question to y'all, the question I was gonna pose is because we talk about.
I will say where I stand in the situation. And I'll leave it at that.
For sure.
But this is about them, though. You don't have to divulge what wherever you are. What I'm saying is. Vlad is calling out Drake and Khaled for being just mull on everything, not saying anything. We literally
talked about this last week.
Yeah, we did.
Remember when I was talking about how Drake doesn't politicize or do anything because he's a pop star and doesn't have to.
Yep.
But here's my angle. With that, I could be wrong, but has DJ Vlad ever spoken about things that affect?
Well, it's not really his role.
No, he's the interviewer.
He's the person that is supposed to provoke that out of people.
See, maybe I'm looking at him as a content creator / reporter / whatever. So maybe they're different, right? Because you got the person that interviews the artist. So maybe I'm confusing that. But I'm looking at it like if you're going to sit up on a mountaintop and tell people to be accountable for, their race or religion, and you got 5 million followers or whatever of what you do, and you claim to be something.
But
why don't you speak out against it?
That's nothing compared to Drake's following or DJ Khaled's following.
I feel you, but what I'm saying is
people aren't cut from the same cloth like that anymore.
But Jay Moore always says we don't need everybody answering everything.
We don't,
right?
People aren't cut from that same cloth anymore. Just back in the day, you had athletes that would take a stand for stuff they believed in.
You did.
You had artists musically. And whatever would take a stand for what they believe in. Nowadays, it's all about getting to the bag, and if it's going to disrupt their bag, they're not going to address
Vlad actually used Tupac as an example. He said, man, could you imagine if Tupac was from, XYZ or whatever side
Tupac was young, black, and didn't give a F.
He wasn't. I agree. He was. I agree. But what I'm saying is Vlad used him as an example to try to compare him because at
Tupac's brand was rebellion.
But at Tupac's height, we know where he comes from. Black Panthers, Afeni, we get that. He did. So that's what Vlad's jumping out the window saying, Pac would have said.
Khaled and Drake have no rebellion in any part of their brand.
Yeah. I agree.
They are corporate. I don't want to say. I don't want to say they're
say it because you're right.
But
they're industry plants.
Say it.
I won't even say industry plants.
They might be.
They play the game.
They play the game.
Whenever something comes up to where it has to be some brolic or gangster stuff involved in it, Jay Prince comes and says something.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And you think he's not getting some kickback from that?
For sure. 100%.
You're wrong. So, as far as being a plant in that nature, possibly.
And it's hard to compare people to Tupac. Tupac was something else.
He was an anomaly.
He's an anomaly.
He was an anomaly. And so, but most artists are told to say, like, hey, I'm just an artist. Hey, I don't know. I don't talk about politics, man. I don't know about all that. I just,
Lil Wayne don't talk about he did at one point in time. When Katrina happened, he had something to say because it directly affected him and his people.
True.
The question then becomes: is there a responsibility for people at a certain level to become educated and to speak on specific things, or is it okay if they're not educated to just stay out the way? And is there a certain responsibility for certain types? It
kind of is because you want to know what you're talking about because a lot of these people I've seen. Justin Bieber shared a screenshot of "Pray for Israel" with the backdrop was actually a bomb Gaza picture. Right. So it's like you're just sharing stuff because it's popular to do, and that's what this whole situation, in my personal opinion, is about. People sharing things because it's the popular thing to do, and they're not doing any of the education on the subject of what's actually going on in Palestine and Israel to know what the actual facts are.
Let me ask you this.
I agree.
So it's the and I want to make sure I phrase this correctly. It's the not being well versed in the situation, which you allude to all the time.
Yeah.
Not being well versed, not knowing what's actually going on. But there are some people that just, and I'm trying to stop to some people, but give me a few shows.
Yeah.
But I say that to say there's a faction of people that want to hear from them just to say, hey, prayers for whatever side they are quote unquote aligned with or religiously aligned with. So, there's one thing to be ignorant on the topic, but there's another thing just to throw out, I guess you whatever you want to call it, bland or whatever, just a general statement saying, yo, prayers for. I don't think that responsibility should be placed on these rappers that are just doing whatever. But I'm seeing a lot of pushback from people that want that for some reason.
Because they've never said anything about anything that's happened
exactly
the whole time that they've been in the limelight.
And Malcolm X, you ever seen a video with him talking about, he was going in on my boy Dick Gregory, rest in peace to both of them, where he's talking about you can't put any faith or whatever into athletes.
No, he talked about how
and all that type of stuff.
As
black people, as black people, right?
We're the only community that asks for our.
We look at them as leaders
and athletes to be political leaders.
Where's
to be
Ja?
leaders. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm
Where is
saying?
Ja?
And so like to a certain extent, I'm like, look, I understand that DJ Khaled might be the most
goofy
famous
clown.
famous Palestinian person in the world, but that doesn't make him learned on what's going
Because
on.
he's not.
Because he lives.
I think he's totally oblivious and beyond.
Maybe not.
He lives.
When I say oblivious, I mean I don't want to hear. I don't need to hear from him. I don't need to hear from him at all.
Look, he lives in Miami Beach and wears $300,000 watches.
Does he
Come on,
identify as a Palestinian?
Yeah. At the same time, that doesn't make him an expert on anything that's going on.
He also identifies. He also identifies as a Muslim, and I saw him on a boat during Ramadan with like chicks and chicken everywhere. So it's like,
like
So you can't have chicks or chicken?
Not on
I'm not
Ramadan.
doing Ramadan. You can't.
He
I
can
ain't
be
no
out there
Muslim,
with
but
chicks, but the chicken, no.
No chicken, no.
I know that's wrong.
You can't be out here Ramadan with chicken.
come on, man. Come on, man.
Let's chill.
Yeah, chill. That don't add up though, but chill.
Yeah. I know.
Come on, man. Go ahead, Law.
I kind of agree with that. I think it would be nice if people that had the type of power that Drake and Khaled actually do hold, if they were educated on these type of situations and they could speak on it from that angle. But at the same time, I don't want them to talk about it if they don't know.
Right. Well, this is the part that comes into play of privilege. They're privileged to not have to say anything.
Right.
And that's another reason why you aren't on Mike's level. Because Mike didn't have to say anything either.
So
but he made a point whenever he could to speak on injustices of people, whether it be his own or somebody else that he's seen being mistreated
around the world.
And
that was his thing, and put his money behind
Facts.
it. So that's why you cannot be considered an artist like Mike is.
Yeah.
There's just no depth to Drake.
None.
And you know what? If there's no depth in him, then don't ask him any questions.
Don't ask him no questions.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't really mind that because I don't see Drake having the answers.
No,
he's
Drake,
not swayed.
He doesn't have the answers.
I'm not coming to him for those. For those answers.
Same way as Kanye also did not have the answers, and we did not need to go to him for those. For that stuff
So
either.
Khaled, it might come off as tacky to some other Palestinians for him to just be out here promoting his records when all this is going on. But what else do you expect from him? This is why you even know who he is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man.
If you didn't ask him to care 3 or 4 years ago, because there's been things going on in Palestine this whole time. Y'all are just paying attention now.
Come on, man.
Talk to him.
So
Talk to him.
If you didn't ask him any questions, then don't ask him any questions.
That's my only issue that I have with all of the prayers for Israel and all that stuff, because what happened was horrible.
Yes.
100%.
But at the same time, like, those same people, what are they saying with all of this, the last 14 years or the last 50 years of the entire, plus of the occupation? Nothing.
Since 1947.
Like, you're not saying anything.
Yeah. Where were your prayers when, literally the Israeli military journalist?
More than one.
This year, more.
I'm just putting out one specific thing.
Look,
Yeah.
And they admitted they did it and there was no justice.
Yes.
Where was your outrage then?
Bro, more Palestinians have died this year at the hands of Israel than vice versa.
Yes.
Even
Even
with the
before this attack happened.
Yes.
And there was even, they knew that this attack was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were waiting for it to happen so that they could level them.
Yeah.
You know, so if you want to actually be, you know what I'm saying, versed on what's going on, read more than what the surface level was giving you and what the media is telling you.
Yes, our media,
because it's deeper than that.
Our media is very much programmed to do the same thing that happened 20 some years ago, you know, and that's just to ignore a lot of just crucial facts about the regions.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and that's
plus
not a good thing.
And plus, you know, we're all vested because we pay taxes and our taxes go to Israel.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah. A whole lot of it is about to go over there too.
Drake's father said he supports his son's.
Well, what else is he going to say? He pays all his bills.
He
Come
said
on
if
now.
you say something about this one, you're going to get criticized.
My daddy
You say
would do the
something
same
about
thing.
Exactly.
someone else, you're going to get criticized.
Yeah.
That's the responsibility of being a grown up and having opinions.
The best way, stay out of it, is what he said.
Yeah.
That's privilege.
That's absolutely what that is.
Yeah.
If I have the privilege of not speaking on black issues in America,
Yeah.
You do.
or
You
I
do.
can talk about them. I'm
You
not
do.
black. I'm just saying it's the same thing with the Palestine thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know.
That's real. That's real.
Let's,
Shout out to this segment going to get demonetized.
let's-